Well, this evening I have learned to slow my roll. Why? Well, let's get into that this evening here on Common Sense. Well, last week I was told that I had to move. And so I had really not enough money to do it because I had to be able to pay for the half a month here where I'm at. And so I called mom just as a safety net, and she sent me some money. And so I was able to move and get in here. Well, soon after I moved here, the manager from the other place that I was living, he called me and asked me if I was still interested in selling my Harley Davidson. Yes, I was. And so not only did I get the rent money back from the half a month that they owed me from there, but I also was able to sell my Harley Davidson. Now, that gave me enough money that I was able to move in here comfortably, get an air conditioner because the one in here had broken, and I'll be able to pay back my mom, and I was able to do a few other things. But I was sitting at the service place where I was getting my oil changed in my truck, and I was watching the news, and they had CNN on. I can't stand CNN, it gives me a headache. But they ran a piece on a poor guy that overdosed on heroin, I'm thinking. But he was a survivor of the Columbine shooting. And it went through my head, why are they running this piece on this guy that overdosed? Well, it came to mind, it's not that the guy overdosed, it's that the mainstream liberal media was trying to keep the stress and the anxiety of gun control in the forefront of people's minds, which is basically what they were doing. Or else, if it was so important that somebody overdosed, why don't they report on all the military personnel that are depressed, that have PTSD, that overdose, that have physical wounds, missing limbs, that overdose? Why not that? Because Columbine is a word that is recognized by most people in this country. And in that, they were able to keep Columbine at the forefront of the minds of the people watching CNN. And so they ran that story. And why not? It keeps the stress level up, the anxious, the anxiety. We want to see something happen. We want something to happen. Let's take a look at this. This is about wanting something to happen.
What we're waiting for is Congress to have the courage to act. And so let me tell you what I'm proposing. I'm proposing, one, that if by my 100th day in office, when elected President of the United States, the United States Congress fails to put a bill on my desk to sign with all of the good ideas or any of the good ideas, then I am prepared to take executive action, because that's what's needed.
Executive action to do what?
To do specifically for anyone who sells more than 5 guns a year, they will be required to perform background checks on the people they sell them to. And this will be the most comprehensive background check policy that has ever been had in our country thus far.
Can that be done by executive order?
Yes. Yes, it can.
Senator Kamala Harris announces a new plan to end the gender pay gap. One America's Marissa Gonzalez has more on how that proposal will ultimately penalize businesses.
I am going to announce the first ever national priority on closing that pay gap.
2020 hopeful Senator Kamala Harris announces a plan to end the gender pay gap that would aim to penalize businesses and corporations. Her plan would require companies to get an equal pay certification from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Companies would have set timeframes for when they needed to provide their certification: 3 years for companies with more than 100 employees and 2 years for those with more than 500 employees.
Now, she's trying to get her base anxious for her to get into office because she's going to fix all this. Well, number one, she cannot do anything about gun laws using executive action because it is in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United States. Any changes in the Constitution have to go to the House and the Senate. She cannot do that. Now, equalizing pay for men and women. The only reason it's not equal is because men work more hours. Therefore, they make more money. But, just like climate change, they're going to keep trying to push this. Keep the stress level and the anxiety up. Because if we vote for this person, they are going to do all this stuff. But they're lying about it, of course, because there's no way they could do this. It's not going to happen. Okay? Now, while I was doing all my stuff after I had moved, my stress level had skyrocketed. And I think that's what clued me off to what was happening with CNN and trying to keep the stress and anxiety level up with the people using the Columbine shooting as a point of reference for gun laws. Now, the politicians, mostly the Democrat socialists and what have you, the ungodly really, are trying to keep an anxiety level up so that they can get their voters to vote for them, which is wrong because they're not doing anything in Congress right now. Here, I want to show you something. This is what they're doing in Congress right now.
Thank you, Speaker Pelosi, and to watch what happened in the White House would make your jaw drop. We Democrats believe in infrastructure. We believe our roads and bridges need repair. We believe that rural America, as well as inner city America, needs broadband. We believe that to bring clean, new energy around the country, we need a power grid, modernized and updated. We believe in modernizing our transportation fleet with electric cars. We believe in all these things. And so, despite signals in the previous few weeks that he might not be serious, we went forward. We came here very seriously. The president asked in his letter last night, where would Democrats spend the money on infrastructure? I was prepared to give him a 35-page plan detailing this in all the areas I mentioned and more that had the broad support of Senate and House Democrats. We are interested in doing infrastructure. It's clear the president isn't. He is looking for every excuse, whether it was let's do trade first, or whether it was he's not going to pay for any funding, or whether today that there are investigations going on. Hello? There were investigations going on 3 weeks ago when we met. And he still met with us. But now that he was forced to actually say how he'd pay for it, he had to run away.
Let's get things done for the American people. I love the American people. Drug prices are coming down. First time in 51 years because of my administration, but we can get them down way lower working with the Democrats. We can solve the problem on the border in 15 minutes if the Democrats would give us a few votes. So I just wanted to let you know that I walked into the room and I told Senator Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, I want to do infrastructure. I want to do it more than you want to do it. I'd be really good at that. That's what I do. But you know what? You can't do it under these circumstances.
Now, which one of the two was attempting to cause anxiety and stress? And which one was being truthful about what's really going on? Schumer was trying to say that he's trying to push to get infrastructure done. No, he's not. Because if they were, why are they still having these investigations into nothing? Absolutely nothing. The Mueller report is out. It's been out. Everybody and their grandma has read it. Nothing. No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. But yet they keep insisting on pushing and pushing and pushing. And so I don't blame President Trump for saying, no, I am not going to play your silly game. Until you stop acting like grade school children on a playground, I am not going to cooperate with anything you say. Let's get rid of these investigations. Let's start behaving like adults. Let's start doing what we were elected to do. President Trump is. He's trying to keep the country safe, secure. He's trying to promote prosperity, unity, not Islamophobe, homophobe, none of the phobes, all right? He's not prejudiced. He isn't. He is a good man. And if you read the banner, the crawler underneath me, it says what it says. That the devious God doesn't like, but the upright he is intimate with. Does that make sense? It does to me. I try to be wise, but wise according to what God tells me, because he had been telling me, slow your roll, slow down. I had my internet receiver set up so that I could do my live streams. And it didn't work because I had it set up in such a way that it was on the ground and it was pointing up at the tower. Well, I didn't realize that my neighbor parked his car between the receiver and the tower, and it interrupted it, and it didn't work. And so I was stressed, and I wanted to get the pole up on my trailer so that I could get it up above all the trailers and the trees and stuff and get it aimed at the tower. And I couldn't do it Monday because it was too windy. And I was stressed. I mean, I was super stressed. Slow down. God told me to slow down. Take it easy. Everything's going to work out. And so I bring this to you. Slow down. For those who think that a politician is going to pass a bill that will pay for your college education, slow down. Research it. It's not going to happen. It can't. Because the government can't tax the people enough to afford that. You're not going to get free health care. Again, they can't tax the people enough to afford that. Slow down. Life is going on and on and on. Each day is a new challenge, a new day to slow down. Look around. Look at around you. Look at all the friends that you have, the people around you. Look at all the beauty of the outside. Look at what there is. Slow down. And I did see a study that says the iPhones and iPads and these technological advances in communication are stressing out teenagers because they have these things in their hand. Where did Jane go? She's been gone for 38 seconds. What's happening? Or some kind of video gets broadcast, which is an absolute falsehood, like the shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. They didn't research it. They didn't say anything about anything. They just broadcasted out that he had his hands up, don't shoot, and the cop shot him. That was absolutely false. Stop. Slow down. Look around. Research. Is it true? Slow down. God has me slowed down. Don't worry about it. And if you don't know God, if you don't have Jesus in your life, man, you're going to stress out. Your anxiety level's going to be way out there. And you're not going to understand what's going on in life. You're going to expect everything and get nothing. With God in your life, you expect nothing and get everything. Figure that one out. God's children get spoiled sometimes. I know I do. And it's great. But I give God all the glory. It's all on Him. It's nothing to do with me. I live, learn, and listen. I listen to learn. And that's how life works. So slow your roll. Take it easy. You'll catch up with life. Trust me. Everybody doesn't get rich overnight. Just take it one day at a time. Slow your roll. That's all I've got for now. I ask that you pray for the leadership of this country, that they will follow God's word to lead this country to safety, security, peace, prosperity, and unity. I ask that you pray for the first responders, military and such, that God will protect them and bring them home in one piece to their families and loved ones. I ask that you pray for our enemies, that their eyes will be open to the love of God. I thank you for watching. I'm William Ferguson. This is Common Sense.